Picture this. It's the dead of winter on a frozen mountain in Russia. 9 experienced hikers head out for what should be a routine expedition. But here's the thing. They never came back. And what searchers found weeks later? It's the kind of discovery that makes even hardened investigators lose sleep. This is the Dyatlov Pass Incident. And I'm warning you right now, this story is going to mess with your head. We're talking about one of the most bone-chilling, unsolved mysteries in human history. So, grab something warm to drink, because tonight we're diving into a frozen nightmare that's been haunting people for over 60 years. Are you ready to discover what really happened on that cursed mountain? Let me take you back to February 1959. The Cold War is in full swing, and deep in the Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia, 9 college students are about to embark on what they think will be the adventure of a lifetime. Their leader, a 23-year-old engineering student named Igor Dyatlov. Smart guy, experienced hiker, the kind of person you'd trust with your life in the wilderness. His team, 8 other skilled outdoors enthusiasts, people who knew how to survive in conditions that would kill most of us in hours. They're heading to Mount Otorten, a challenging trek, sure, but nothing these guys couldn't handle. They've got proper gear, plenty of food, and years of experience between them. But here's what they didn't know. Locals had a different name for their destination. They called it Kholat Syakhl, and in their language, that means dead mountain. Maybe they should have listened to that warning. So what happened next will make your skin crawl. Days passed, then weeks. When the hikers didn't return as scheduled, search parties were sent out. And on February 26th, they found something that defied logic. Picture the scene with me. You're trudging through deep snow, calling out names, hoping to find these missing students safe in their tent. Then you see it. Their tent is still standing, but something's horribly wrong. It's been slashed open, not from the outside, like you'd expect from an animal attack or robbery, but from the inside. Long, deliberate cuts made by someone desperate to get out. So desperate, they'd rather face the deadly Siberian cold than stay inside that tent one more second. But get out from what? Inside the tent, everything was normal. Food laid out for dinner, personal belongings neatly arranged, warm clothes and boots just sitting there. Whatever terrified these experienced hikers happened so fast, so suddenly, that they didn't even take time to put on shoes. We're talking about temperatures of minus 25 degrees Celsius. That's minus 13 Fahrenheit. Cold enough to kill you in minutes. And these people ran out barefoot. Now, here's where it gets really disturbing. The search team followed footprints leading away from the tent. 9 sets of tracks, some barefoot, some in just socks. But here's the weird part. They weren't running. The tracks showed they were walking in single file, calmly, purposefully, like they were following someone or something. Dramatic pause. The first bodies were found over a mile away. Igor Dyatlov himself was discovered face up in the snow, his arms reaching back toward the camp, like he was trying to return but never made it. 2 others were found nearby, both showing signs of desperate hypothermia. But the real nightmare was just beginning. 2 more bodies were discovered at the forest edge, near the remains of a small fire. These guys were found in their underwear. They'd tried to start a fire with frozen hands, burning their fingers and feet in the process. And here's something that'll give you nightmares. Investigators found broken branches high up in a nearby tree. Someone had climbed up there in the middle of a blizzard. But why? What were they trying to see? Or what were they trying to hide from? The last 4 bodies weren't found until the snow melted in May. And friends, this is where the Dyatlov Pass incident goes from mysterious to absolutely terrifying. Listen to this. Lyudmila Dubinina was found with her tongue completely missing, her eyes gone. But here's what makes it truly disturbing. There were no external wounds, no cuts, no animal bites. The tongue and eyes had been removed from the inside. The autopsy revealed massive internal injuries equivalent to a high-speed car crash. Crushed chest, broken ribs, massive internal bleeding, but her skin completely intact. No bruises, no external trauma whatsoever. Think about that for a second. What kind of force can completely destroy someone's internal organs while leaving their skin untouched? And it gets worse. When they tested the hikers' clothing, they found radioactive contamination levels far above normal. This is 1959, folks, decades before Chernobyl. Where did that radiation come from? Local witnesses reported seeing strange orange lights in the sky that night, moving in impossible patterns. The indigenous Mansi people who'd lived in that area for generations suddenly refused to hunt there. They said evil spirits had claimed the mountain. So, what the hell happened up there? The Soviet government classified the case immediately. The official cause of death, quote, a compelling unknown force. Not avalanche, not animal attack, an unknown force. Conversionally, let's think through this together. Avalanche? The tent was intact and the slope wasn't steep enough. Military testing? Maybe, but that doesn't explain the specific injuries or why the government would sacrifice 9 of their own students. Some people say it was infrasound, wind patterns creating frequencies that cause panic and disorientation. But that doesn't explain the radiation, the impossible internal injuries, or the missing soft tissue. Here's what we know for certain. 9 experienced hikers fled their warm, safe tent in absolute terror. They walked calmly into deadly cold because whatever was in that tent was worse than freezing to death. 4 of them suffered injuries that physics says shouldn't be possible. And 64 years later, no one can explain what happened. You know what really gets me about this case? In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the investigation. Their conclusion after all these decades? Avalanche. Yeah, right. Despite all the evidence we just talked about, they're sticking with the snow story. Makes you wonder what they're really trying to hide, doesn't it? The truth is, the Dyatlov Pass incident represents something that terrifies us at a primal level. The idea that there are forces in our world we can't understand, can't fight, and can't escape from. Today, the pass is named after Igor Dyatlov. Hikers still venture there, drawn by the mystery. Most come back with stories of equipment malfunctions, overwhelming feelings of being watched, and an unexplainable urge to leave. Some don't come back at all. So, the next time you're camping in the wilderness and you hear something moving outside your tent, remember Dyatlov Pass. Remember that 9 people encountered something so terrifying that they chose death over staying to find out what it was. And remember, whatever killed them is still out there, still waiting. What do you think really happened on Dead Mountain? Drop your theories in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story gave you chills like it did me, hit that subscribe button for more unexplained mysteries that'll keep you up at night. Sweet dreams, if you can manage them.